Happy New Year, everyone. I'm Dawn Robles. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the Phoenix metro area. And today I'm going to bring you a fun fold gift card holder. I am using the Greatest Journey stamp set and the Greatest Journey dies. Stampin' Up! Has done something really amazing, which is they named the dies with the stamp set now. So there's no more confusion there. And this set will be available to you starting January 5th. That is when our celebration kicks off as well. So with any $50 purchase, you will be able to pick out one free item out of our celebration brochure. If you're not working with a demonstrator and you have not yet received your catalog, shoot me a DM, give me a call, a text message, and I will pop one in the mail to you as well. But let's go ahead and get started with today's card. So here's the card, and it simply opens like this. You have your gift card here, you have your message and your greeting here. So very, very unique. I like to say it's a unique card. So I'm going to set that aside, and I'm going to bring in the supplies we're going to need. As always, I've done some pre-cutting for you to kind of make the video go a little faster, but you are going to need a piece of cardstock that measures 8.5 by 5.5. I'm using Garden Green. Going to need a piece of Whisper White that measures 4 by 5.25. You're going to need a second piece of Whisper White that measures 2.5 by 4. And then you're going to need some coordinating DSP pieces. So I have one that is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8, and I have one that is 3 7/8 by 2 3/8. Now, I will tell you, if you just take a piece of your designer series paper, cut it down 3 7/8 by 5.5, you will get that 2 7/8 and 2 3/8 will equal 5 1/4. So just a nice little tip there for you. And then I also cut another piece for the inside of the gift card holder just to decorate it up a little bit. And that piece is cut at 2.5 by 4. I'm also adding a little strip just to add a little finishing touch to the bottom of this card. And this piece is cut at 1/2 inch by 3 7/8 as well. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring in our cutting board. Let me grab my cutting board here. And we're going to line our card up at 4 1/4. And we're going to take our cutting blade first. We're going to be using both blades, but the first one we're going to use is our cutting blade. And we're going to line that up at 2 3/4 right here. So your ruler on the side, we want to line that up at 2 3/4. I kind of put a piece of white paper on mine because I do a lot of measuring this way, and it just helps me see exactly where we are. And then I'm just going to cut straight up just like that. Okay, then I'm going to bring in my scoring tool, and I'm going to score up that same line to where I cut. I'm going to gently shift my cardstock just a sliver, because I just want to take a sliver off. So I'm going to line that back up at 2 3/4. And then I'm just going to slice back up. And what that's going to do is that's just going to give me this tiny little sliver. So when you do open and close the gift card holder, you don't have anything impeding your score line. Okay. So then I'm going to take that same piece and I'm going to line it up at 2 3/4 on my scoreboard, going the 5.5 inch length. I'm going to line that up at 2 3/4, and I'm going to score at 4 1/4 up. And okay, so we're done with that for now. I'll bring in my scissors and I'll pull this to the back. And I'll just trim this little tiny sliver away. Then I'm going to take the scored edge here and I'm going to fold over and just burnish that down like so. And then I'm going to fold it over. And there we've made our card base. Okay. So on this piece, I do want a thumb pull. So I'm bringing in a retired punch. If you don't have a punch, you can always use one of your circle dies, or really any kind of die. And then I'm just going to kind of, well, you know, before I do that, getting ahead of myself here. Before I punch the hole, I do want to add my designer series paper to the front of that. Now when I glue my designer series paper, I know that I'm going to punch a hole in, so I'm not going to glue all the way up here. It just makes it a little harder to get the punch through. So I do want it up on both sides, all the way to the top on both sides. Okay, and at the bottom, and then I'll come about right here. And I'm just going to lay that, having a nice border all the way around. Okay, that just adds a little oomph on the inside. And now I'm going to just punch a finger hole. And I'm going to try and make it even. Good luck to me, because I don't do that very often. Okay. And it is what it is, right? There we go. Ah, not bad. Not bad at all. And then you can just take your tear and tape, run some tear and tape here and here, which I forgot to get, so let me grab it real quick. If I can find it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some tear and tape, and you can use like liquid glue here too to give you a little more wiggle room. But I did find that the tear and tape does give you enough room to get the card in and out. It's just a little more snug. Okay, and then I'm going to give that a little burnish. I had a few bubbles in there. And then I'm just going to remove the tear and tape here. Maybe I am and maybe I'm not. Goodness sakes. Okay, there we go. And then I'm just going to bring this over and fold this down. Okay, so now our pocket is already made. And now it's just time to decorate the inside and the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in my designer papers. On this one, I'm just going to glue it simply to the 4 by 5 1/4. Ah, you know, I did something. I forgot to do something like always. Okay, so I already glued that down, but I wanted to add some stars just to add a little bit of dimension to this piece of paper. So I'm actually going to bring in my polished pink ink set and a piece of scratch paper and my my foam mat. Okay, goodness gracious. Okay, looks like you can see the grids and all that. Okay, so all I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little dimension, and this stamp set has a set of stars on it, so I'm going to be using the stars here. And I am bringing in a piece of scratch paper because I do want to stamp off because I don't want it super bold, okay? So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm just going to randomly place it all over the DSP. I thought it was like a little boring, and then I was going to emboss it, and I'm like, I was lazy and I didn't want to get the gun out, so there you go. Quick fix, right? And while I've got that out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp my greeting on the bottom. So I'm going to bring in my garden green. And I'm going to bring in my stamp set that says, "Wishing you joy in this next adventure." Okay, I'm just going to line it up down here and give it a good press. And that looks awesome. And then I kind of thought I wanted something to finish this off a little bit, so I was playing with some ideas. I don't want to add extra bulk to the card, so I thought when I cut a sliver off of this, I just turn it over, and you can kind of add that if you want to add a little oomph to the card. Do I like it though? You know, I think I'm just going to leave it off. So I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm just going to adhere this to the inside of my card base. I hope everybody had a good New Year's. I received some unexpected bad news, so I'm kind of reeling from that, but on the other hand, it's a fresh start to a new year. Okay, so the inside of my card is basically done, and it's pretty, isn't it? Okay, so now we're just going to spruce up the outside here. I might give this another extra little burnish there. And I'm just bringing in my DSP, and I think I forgot to mention, guys, that I am using the Enjoy the Journey Designer Series paper that comes with this suite here, and it's really pretty. So there's a lot of different prints. There's purples, coastal cabanas, greens, starry sky, which is a nice blue. You can see that there. This is the print that we're actually using today, and I just cut it down. So you got a lot of nice horizons, beautiful little trees. So yeah, beautiful set of paper. Sorry, I guess I should have mentioned that in the beginning, huh? So then I'm just going to glue, this is 3 7/8 by 2 3/8. I'm going to glue that to my Whisper White. That again was 2.5 by 4. It's giving it a nice little border. Can you all see? Okay, I'm just going to give that a nice little border here. Okay, and then I'm going to attach that right to the front of my card base. Okay, bring that in. Okay, so the front is done, well, started, I guess I should say. And then I love the dies in this stamp set, guys. They're so neat. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Okay, so we have mountains and trees. We have a runner. We have a person carrying the lantern, and you can clip the lantern off and actually put them a walking stick. So that, I mean, it's super cool. We got the moon, we got clouds, we got a mountain that we can cut out. So I am loving this, but I am using the tent, and it's a two-part deal. So we've got the cutout that makes the neat little design on the outside of the tent and the base tent. Okay, so we're going to use that today, and the person, which I already cut out, holding the lantern. So when you are cutting this small piece out, which I've already cut out, but I want to show you what I did. So I used our adhesive sheets, our adhesive glue sheets, and I put it on my DSP before I ran it through the die. And to do that, let me just show you real quick. So it comes like on like the sticker sheet here, and all you do is you cut down the side, cut it down to size what you want, and you just pull the backing off, and then you just attach your DSP right to it. Yeah. You attach your DSP right to it, and then you would just run your die right through it like that. And so when you pull out, after you've cut your die, you can just pop this off and pop off the pieces. Okay. So then you've created a sticker, and you don't have to worry about all the glue trying to adhere glue to this. The first time I did it, I didn't use the adhesive on the back of it, so parts of my tent lifted up because you just can't really get glue on that tiny little portion there. Okay, so I've cut the base tent, and then I'm just going to come in and I'm going to peel the back of the sticker off. And then I'm just going to line it up to the best of my ability. Okay, and then press it down. Simple. Okay, so the tent is made. Lay that over here. And then I am using the silhouette of the person holding the lantern, but I wanted something to shine behind there. So all I did was I took a piece of this scrap that I used to cut the tent. I had some laying around, and I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of glue. This, if you use your fine tip glue, this is the best place to use it because it is very tiny. And so I'm just adding a little bit of glue, like so. And I'm trying to put the pin back on because, you know, this fine tip glue, if you don't put the pin in it, it dries up and it's almost impossible to do. Okay. And then I'm just taking a piece of, and I'm just going to line it up behind that lantern where I don't really have to cut a whole lot except on the outside. Just like so, did you see? Then I'll just take my scissors and cut around it. Like so. That way it looks like the lantern is going. And then I just simply glued the tent down and I popped up my little gal or guy, whatever. Using this one, you'll use the mini dimensionals. And then I cut one actually in half to go on the lantern piece because even the mini was too big. So I just cut it down. to go on the lantern like so. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to glue my tent down. Okay, and then I'm just going to take off the back of my dimensionals. And pop her, our hem up. Let's get him a little closer to the tent here. So cool, so cool, so cool. And then I just wanted to put a sentiment up here. So then again, I pulled in, this moment is the start of something great. And I used my stitched nest labels dies. So all I did was I cut a piece out. This one measures, I think it was 2 by 3 5/8, I guess. 2 and by 3 5/8. I just cut me a piece out like so. And then I brought in the magic. So there's a couple ways you can do this. I wanted it two-toned. I wanted 2 different colors. So there's 2 ways you can do that. You can take a piece of Post-it or Post-it tape and tape over what you, or masking tape even, and tape over what you want to do. I didn't want to do that. You know, I was in a hurry when I was creating this. And so all I did was I took a piece of cardstock. Well, let me see here. I actually was just careful when I inked up the green. And then when I can't talk. When I wanted to ink up the pink, I put my cardstock in here and then I just gently inked up the grate. So there you go. That's how I did that. If it's been some time, you'll want to huff on the stamp set. And then I'm just going to stamp the greeting towards the bottom of the point. And just give it a nice press for a minute. Let that ink transfer into the paper. And there you go. You can see I got just a little bit green on the top, but that's cool because it just looks like the ombre effect, right? Like the paper. And then I just brought in my cutting board again. Set that to the side here. Trim this down a little bit so I could adhere it to the top. And I wanted it, I think I'm going to put it about right here. Maybe down just a little bit. Like so. And then you can add embellishments to it. We had these really great set that came with this set. It's enamel sticker icons. So, and you can just adhere that. This one, I'm not going to do that. I'm simply going to glue this down. And I'm just going to, I think I'll just put it right at the top of that DSP in the center. Okay, and then, do I have any embellishments? It definitely needs something, doesn't it? So let me just, I got these butterflies laying here. Let me just grab one and put that, even though it's nighttime. Put a butterfly right down there. Okay, and that is how you make this fun fold gift card holder. So tell me, which do you like best? I did it in Garden Green, Coastal Cabana, with the sticker icon or with the butterfly. Let me know your comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate this. Go out there, have a great week, and happy crafting to you all.